Yes! Fuck yes! After 40 years, finally, here it is. What we've all been waiting for. Well, at least us drummers and Metallica gear nerds.
What's the first thing that comes to mind when you look behind you and you see all of them in the same room at the same time?
Epic! Fucking epic. That's what comes to mind when I see all those kids after 40 years in the same room together. We have been waiting a long time for a video like this. Me personally, almost 27 years for a video like this. And this video did not disappoint. We got to see these tour kits up close and personal and in detail finally. And we got a little bit of the story behind some of these. Now this video is extra special for me because I had some direct involvement with it. Metallica came to me and asked if I would be willing to ship my replica Black Album tour kit snare, which I immediately agreed to do. After all these years, I could have never imagined myself working with the biggest heavy metal band on the planet, and to see my snare behind one of the original Black Album tour kits. Surreal.
In terms of the bigger is better, I think this may actually be a floor tom that's hanging here. But look at this black hardware. Look how cool. This is taken from the Justice album. The lugs and the drum hardware was black, but here all the cymbal stands also were black.
Well, how did we get here? How did I find myself working with the biggest heavy metal band on earth? Before this video release, we had very limited details on these beautiful tour kits. So take a trip with me and I'll tell you the incredible story of how I ended up sending my Black Album snare drum to Lars.
A morph of this was used for those videos with fewer toms and so on, but definitely.
It's probably best to jump in, Chris, and ask, where did your infatuation with drums begin?
Even before Metallica came along, I wanted to do drums, right? So I think, I want to say 96. I always wanted to get a kit, you know, and just didn't know how to do it back then or what to do. So I guess I started with like a 5-piece groove percussion kit. And then somewhere along the line, a family friend came in and showed me Metallica. It was funny because it was in 96 around Load. Mm-hmm. So he was so excited to get the cassette of Load. And when he got that cassette, he was so pissed off. He's like, honest to God, he's like, what the hell happened? I just listened to the Black Album. Now you give me this crap. And he was so mad. So he's like, you want this cassette? Take it, it's yours. So I took it and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know nothing, about the thrash era or the Black Album era. So I said, all right, let me try this. So I picked up Load and I listened to it that whole summer of 96. And then you get deeper and deeper into it. I think I got some VHS tapes. I got, A Year in the Life of Metallica. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Yeah.
And when I saw that white Tama kit and I saw Lars, that was it. I don't know what the hell it was, but that was it, that white drum kit. And then ever since then, I've been a Metallica super fan, Lars super fans, all kinds of stuff like that. So that's pretty much where it started, summer of 96. Here it is. This is the video. This is the exact moment I saw the Black Album tour kit for the first time. I didn't know much about drums, and I didn't play drums at the time, but I knew from the energy of this video that this was the drum kit I was after. Let's fast forward to 2017. After 3 missed eBay attempts at the Black Album tour kit, I had had enough. It was time to act. At this point, I decided to build 3 replica tour kits. I had built the Damage Incorporated tour kit. Then I had decided to build the Damage Justice tour kit. Still not achieving my dream, at this time, I decided to build the Black Album tour kit. So that was it. I had built my bucket list drum kits, or at least that's what I thought. Summer 2023, through mutual friend Billy Harrington, I was contacted by Bart at the Drum History Podcast. If you don't know the Drum History Podcast, this was a huge deal for me. Check them out. Bart is only the godfather of all drum history. We did, in the end, 6 episodes about Lars Ulrich's drum kits, from tour kits to studio kits. We did the deep dives, and we got the information out there. I couldn't have been more proud.
Hello and welcome to the Drum History Podcast. I'm your host Bart Vanderzee, and today I am joined by Chris Ruscio to talk about all the gear of Mr. Lars Ulrich. Beautiful drums. I got a note as well, though, because I did a whole Power Tom episode. We're talking Power Tom. We're talking Power Tom.
Oh.
And this is the era of, like, looks like we've got spandex pants with white socks pulled
Spandex
up.
pants. I'm glad you said that, because I'm going to bring this. You're going to think I'm a nerd, but...
Wow.
They're
Those are the shoes.
Well, these haven't been used by him, but these are one of the shoes.
Explain. It looks like we have a Danish flag and a monkey on the front.
Yeah, let me bring that in too, just for ha-has. You know, this is...
There you go. That is identical.
It is identical. Talk about a gear nerd.
I mean...
There you go.
So
perfect. What do you say? Live.Laugh.Lars.
You need a bumper sticker that says...
So, but it's been good, so I'm glad everybody has enjoyed. What a great experience it was working with the Drum History Podcast and my friends at That Sound Podcast. Shortly after these episodes, I was contacted by Metallica. It was now time to get my snare cleaned up, packed up, and on a plane out to San Francisco. Come along with me one more time for the epic conclusion of what happened when I sent my snare to Lars. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final portion of this video. Thanks for sticking with me and watching that extra long video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I thought it was pretty cool. First time really editing something like that, so thank you. So here it is. Here's the snare. Here's why we're all here. And I'm going to wrap this up and tell the story, what went down, how it happened, you know, my thoughts and everything. And pretty much that's it. So, first of all, got to thank some people, because without a lot of people out there, this would have never been possible. It never happened for me. So number one, I want to thank Shane at End Podcast for All, who did the initial kind of hookup there. He told the Metallica crew member, and that's just what we're going to leave it at, the crew member. I don't know if anybody wants to be mentioned by name. The people that I am mentioning by name have agreed to it. So he initially hooked me up with the Metallica crew member, says he has the snare you're looking for, so kind of got that going. I definitely want to thank Bart at the Drum History Podcast. Man, what an experience that was. We did some work, didn't we? We got all that gear out there. That was really cool for me to get that gear out there. All the information we did on the tour kits and the studio kits. Before that, there wasn't much out there. I know I would have killed for a video like that when I was building these replica kits. So thank you very much to Bart. That was awesome. My friends in Ireland, Gavin and Luke. Man, that was a cool show. Thank you for getting me out to that audience out there in Ireland. That was cool. Got a little bit of my story out, and pretty much just everybody who follows me and watches and talks to me and we interact. You know, just any audience helps get shit like this done. You know, shit like this happens because of everybody else. If nobody paid attention to what I was doing, nobody would give a shit, and Metallica would have never seen. So here we go with the story. So I guess last summer, me and Bart did those 2 tour studio episodes, and I think we wrapped that up in September. And a few months later, Bart comes to me and says, "Hey, check the message or check the comments on I think it was episode 1." He says, "Check the comments." So I checked the comments, and Jimmy Clark had commented. And that's very believable to me, because I have talked to Jimmy in the past. Jimmy's awesome, really personable guy. I'll talk to you about anything you want to talk about. Jimmy basically had commented, we're doing this project with Lars's old gear. You know, I came in at the Orange Sparkle kit, he said, and these older kits I'm not that familiar with, so thank you for these podcasts and getting everything out there. It's really a big help. So I was like, yeah, that's believable, because I've talked to Jimmy before, so that was cool. And so my first thought was, fuck yeah, we're going to get a Metallica, Lars, Tama project. That's fucking awesome. And my second thought was, wow, the Metallica camp is watching. How fucking awesome is that? So that was cool. So I didn't think anything of it, and I knew the project was coming out, didn't know what it was. I just went on about my business, waited for the project. And then late April, when this Tama Lars 40th anniversary video was recorded, I get a text from Shane from End Podcast for All. And the text says, "I need a big favor." So no offense to Shane, but the first thing I thought was, oh shit, somebody hacked this account. Because anytime anybody asks me for a favor online, it's either A, can I borrow $300, or B, can you get me some iTunes gift cards? So I thought it was a scam. But anyway, I said, yeah, what's up? And he said, hey, I need pictures of your snare. A couple good pictures, you know, top, bottom, side. So I didn't even ask. I just sent it. I help a lot of people with that. I send pictures of my gear all over to people. That's cool. I love doing shit like that. So I send that to him, and then he gets back to me an hour later and says, well, this is what's going on. This Metallica crew member is talking about some project, and he's looking for the original Black Album Tour kit snare. So my first thought was, I was blown away. I'm like, nah, this can't be real. This is a scam. No offense to Shane, but why would Metallica come to me, a nobody, for a piece of equipment that at least I thought they had? I mean, we know Lars had a bunch of these Art Star 2s on tours. I'm sure he had all the snares to go with it. So why are they coming to me? They have their own gear. Well, apparently not. Apparently they've misplaced them, gave them away. Who knows what the hell happened? So, you know, I talked with Shane back and forth. I still didn't believe it was true. And we talked back and forth that Friday. And I think I went to bed, and I woke up the next day. He's like, so what do you think? You never really gave me an answer. I said, all right, I got my doubts about this. So this is the only way I'm going to do it is if you put me in contact with the crew member from Metallica. I just want to make sure it's for real, see what they're thinking. He's like, yeah, no problem. I'm going to give him your phone number. He's like, this is the phone number you're going to expect. So when he told me the name sounded very familiar. So the first thing I did was I recognized the name from the movie Some Kind of Monster. So I went and I watched the movie, and I went to that portion and I heard the voice. I'm like, all right, this is the voice you're expecting. And then I gave my girlfriend the phone number, because she's really good at that shit, looking up all those phone numbers and any information you need on the internet. She can get you anything. So I'm outside doing some work, and she comes back to me and she says, that phone number's coming up, Q Prime Management, New York City, or Manhattan, whatever she said. I'm like, oh, holy shit, maybe this is for real. So I said, this is what I'm dealing with. I got this phone number, I'm waiting for this voice, and we know it's from Q Prime. I am listening. You got my attention. So Metallica called, and they told me what they wanted to do. And I said, yeah, I heard about this project. And he's like, oh, yeah, I talked to Jimmy. I heard about this project. He's like, all right, cool. So he's like, this is what I'm trying to do. He said, for some reason, we don't have the snare. We can't find it. He was like, it's not a huge deal. I get it. But I'd really like to have it for this video. We can't find them. He's like, would you be willing to ship your snare out? And I was like, oh, absolutely. For Metallica, I'm proud to help. Definitely. So we talked back and forth, and I think I sent him some pictures of my other kits, and he was like, oh, those are some cool tom mounts. And I offered actually to send all the correct tom mounts and everything, but all they needed was the snare. So he told me, this is what I want to do. I want to get it in a hard case, and I want to get it overnighted to, I guess it's San Rafael is the proper area. I want to get this overnight. I said, yeah, that's cool. I want to have it in a hard case too. It is my snare, and I want to protect it. And he said, I've been looking around. I can't find these anymore. Nobody's got them for sale, and yeah, it's very difficult to find these snares nowadays. They do pop up, but not too often. So, we talked for a little bit. I agreed. I said, all right, it's Saturday at 3 o'clock. If I'm going to do this, I got to get to the music stores before 5, because Saturday, 5 o'clock, everything is closed. The project's got to get done pretty quick, a lot quicker than Sweetwater can get me something out. So I go down to the local store. They had the case. Great. I get the case. I contact him back. I said, I got the case. He says, cool, pack it up for me, get me the measurements and the weight, and I'll get you an overnight sticker. We were going to overnight it out there. That was the thing. They were going to overnight it. And I do all that. I get it all packed up, give him the weight. He says, great, here's your sticker. So it's going out to San Francisco, or San Rafael. It's going out overnight. Great. He says to me, I would rather you, if you have access to an airport, bring it there instead of one of your local things, because if we get it to the airport, it'll get it out here a lot quicker. Because sometimes, I guess we all know FedEx sometimes, and at least it's happened to me, your overnight turns into 3 goddamn days. So I don't know how that works. But so I said, yeah, I got an airport not too far, so I'll do that. So nothing happened that Sunday because everything was closed. Monday, it needed to go out Eastern time, 11 o'clock, to get to them on time. So I had to take the day off sick from work. But whatever, it's Metallica. You do what the fuck you gotta do. That was my mindset. So I get it down to the airport, no problems. Everything went smooth. Basically, our shipping center is right there on the runway. The airplane is there. Pretty cool shit. Surreal. I was thinking on the way, this is surreal. How did I get here? 2017, when I was building these replica kits, I could have never imagined anything like this. So I get it to the airport. I send him a text. I said, here's your tracking number. Send him a picture of the receipt. I said, it's on its way. Should be to you Tuesday morning or something like that. And he says, all right, I really appreciate it. He said, by the way, I checked out your podcast. Good shit. And I'm like, all right, cool. That's great. Talk to you soon. So I figured I would hear back rather quickly because it is a big project. And it's, I guess the fan in me was really hoping to hear back soon. And my wildest imaginations, like get some pictures of like Lars standing next to it during the project. I mean, we got him in the end anyway when this video was released a couple weeks ago. But I didn't really hear back from him. Not as much as I had when I was shipping it out. So I texted him. I said, hey, did it arrive? How's everything going? He said, I have it here. And Tama was involved. He said Tama got a lot of pictures of it, video of it, and it was in some B-roll, so it's definitely in the footage. And I will ship it back to you when I'm done. I was like, all right, great, cool. And basically where it went from there was I still didn't hear anything, and I get an email a day later, and I get it from FedEx, and it says there was a label created. You know how they do it. There's a label created for you, and you should expect this package at this time. Okay, so I opened the email, and here's where, kind of gets weird for me. So I overnighted it, and then they shipped it back to me 7-day ground. It took a little longer, but basically they shipped it back 7-day ground after shipping it out there overnight. Grateful to be part of the project, grateful to help out, grateful to have something like this happen to me. But in the end, and I don't know if they knew this, and I don't know if it's like that on the West Coast, but out here in the East Coast, FedEx destroys everything, and UPS isn't much better. So, to have it go 7-day ground, in my mind, was there's more opportunity for it to get destroyed, because, if you check the stops these things make, I mean, they're stopping, I think it stopped in Arizona, and Nebraska, and Ohio, and it's going from truck to truck to truck. That's how it works. But our FedEx destroys fucking everything. It's so bad. I used to ship with FedEx and UPS. I used to ship with them both. And I won't ship with them no more. I will only use the post office. Unless it's indestructible, I'm not really shipping it anymore. Especially if it's heavy. If it's heavy and the post office won't take it, I'm not shipping it at all, because FedEx and UPS destroy fucking everything. I've had so many problems with them. They've destroyed so much gear on me. And in the end, if you buy something from me online and you tell me it's destroyed, well, the first thing I'm doing is refunding you, because that's just the way to do it. You've bought a piece of gear from me. I'm going to refund you. I'll get it back, or at least I'll try. But when it comes to insurance, try and put in a claim with FedEx. Just try and put in a claim. It ain't going to work. First of all, they want the receipt when the drum was brand new. How am I going to go back to the 90s and get that receipt? And even if you do get the receipt, they're going to give you whatever it was valued for back then. And if you don't have the receipt, you're plain out fucked. Been there a dozen times with them. The insurance doesn't work unless you have a secretary that handles that shit. Once they destroy something, it's on you. You're not getting it back. So that pissed me off. I'm trying to be diplomatic about this whole thing, but that really pissed me off that they sent it back 7-day ground. Maybe when you're making the deal, I should have been more direct. I just figured we're going to air it out, and we're going to ship it overnight. They're going to ship it overnight back. Yeah, I'm not in a big rush for it, but it is my Snare. As they said too, it's very hard to find. It's very expensive when you get them, and then naturally I got to dump a little more in there. I got to get the hardware powder coated and all that shit. So I was pretty fucking pissed off about that. Let me just say that. Grateful to do something like that, but that one pissed me off. So whatever. It gets back. Thankfully, nothing was destroyed. The Snare was in the box. And that's all that was in the box. I was a little taken back that there wasn't like a signature on the drum. I didn't ask, but I kind of just, I figured, he would have thrown a signature on it, or, hey, thanks for helping out with the project. Here's an old broken drumstick. Didn't ask for that, but I just kind of thought that would happen. So I remember when I talked to him on the phone before I shipped it out, I said, it would be really fucking cool. I said, I want to get some feedback from Lars. I want to talk to Lars. And what I was going to ask Lars was, what did you think about the podcast? Did I get the information correct? Because that's what I was most concerned with. Getting the information correct, and doing the Metallica name right. And, doing justice to all these, no pun intended, doing justice to these old tour kits and making sure everything was right. Because at the time, that didn't exist. There was no information. And, I think kind of me and Bart were the first to get the information out there, so that was cool. So I wanted some feedback from him on that. That never ended up happening. Still cool to do the project, honestly. What do I say? So months go by, and I wasn't going to tell this story. It was it's been an emotional roller coaster, but a lot of people are interested in it, so I'm telling it now. I wasn't going to tell it. It did end. I guess I'm a little disappointed how it ended. A little gratitude would have been nice. They did discuss a show, but that never happened through 2023. And they did one at Foxborough, Patriot Stadium, up in Massachusetts, and that's like 2 hours away. And that came and went. I didn't get anything. I'm not expecting anything, but it just is what it is. I was kind of just put off how it ended. So it's been an emotional roller coaster with that. So I still love Metallica. I've been listening to them for 27 years. I'm always going to listen to them. But, they always say don't try and meet your heroes, and because it changes things, and it does. It's now when I hear them, it's a little bit, it's different. It's disappointing. I'm still going to do what I do. People enjoy the videos. And very grateful for the chance to do this project with them. Didn't really get a thank you, didn't get really anything at all. So, I don't really ask for much. So after the project came out, I got in touch with them again. And I said, hey, listen, now the fan in me is starting to kick up. And I said, as a fan, it would mean the world to me if I could swing by the stadium in Nashville, because I'm going to be down in Nashville at the same time as they are. If I could swing by Nissan Stadium and just have him sign this. That would be awesome. And basically they said, you know, the crew guys can't set that up. I get it. Everybody's got a job and they got to stay in their lane. And I get it. And they're busy with shit. And they're like, well, we can't set that up. You know, a lot of people are looking for their time. And I'm like, well, you know, I sent you the snare. I mean, it'd be so cool to get it signed. But they said, you know, maybe we'll remind them maybe in December. Everything's got to go through management. So, you know, I doubt anything's going to happen because as time goes on, they're so busy with shit, and I get it, that you just kind of get forgotten the further time goes on. You know, they've got their thing going on, but you know, I would love to get some feedback from Lars and see what he thought of the podcast. I still would like to get some feedback, so hopefully that'll happen in the future. I doubt it. It is what it is. So Tama was also involved too, and funny story. I think, I mean, because I guess the way I was told at least was Tama was looking at the pictures too, and they wanted to make sure it was the right thing. And I get some feedback through the crew member and says, I guess it was Sam at Tama. Sam was like, well, Lars's original was natural inside and yours is white on the interior. And I wasn't a dick about it or anything. I said, no, you know, take a look at this. And I sent them the pictures. I'm like, the original was white. And they kicked back. They're like, yeah, you're right. It was. So that was a funny story. And since the project came out, I contacted Tama because, and I've put the picture up and I'll put it up again, probably right here I'll put it. This shot here with my snare and Lars is sitting behind it, I mean, that's just amazing to me. It's surreal. I mean, I guess every fan dreams of something like that. So I said to Tama, I said, if you could help me out, because I have to take these pictures with my phone off my TV. There's no other way to get it, really. So I said, if you could maybe help me out and send me a picture or even a file that I could download and get it to like a Photoshop. I don't even know if Photoshops fucking exist anymore, but somebody's got to be able to do something with this file. If I can get a better file, just all I have is a picture off my TV. I would love that because I'm going to blow it up and put it in the drum room somewhere, and that would be really cool. And they were kind of like, they were like, oh, well, we really can't guarantee anything. Send us your email and we'll get back to you. I haven't heard anything from them. I doubt I will either. I would love to hear back from them. I mean, so I remember when we were talking, they were saying it's not a huge deal that we get this snare, but we kind of want to include the original snare in this video. And oh yeah, absolutely, you got to have the original snare. The way I think about it, most drummers, most fans, they want to see the original Tama snare from that time period. I think what else would they have done? All the pictures we see in the last 10 years when that kit has come out has had the Damage Justice snare, the 14x8 white one. You would come out with this kit, and that's not correct. So it would have either been that, or they might have stuck one of his black anniversary model, the one he's using now, the black diamond plated Lars Ulrich 1465 model. And you know, how lame would that have been? You know, you've got this iconic kit, we're doing this epic fucking video, and everything's correct but that one snare. So I think that would have been lame, but that's me. So everybody's asking what happened. You know, everybody's like, oh, they must have hooked you up with this, hooked you up with that, you must have talked to Lars. I didn't get anything. Not a thing. I mean, I know the crew member that I dealt with was grateful, and he was a great guy. He's a good guy to talk to, always responds, and I love dealing with him. But you know, some feedback from Lars or Tama would have been great. Even a phone call, you know, that said, hey man, the podcasts were great, you got it right, or you fucked it up. I doubt we fucked it up, but you fucked it up, and I'd have been like, oh fuck. But anything would have been cool. You know, maybe a broken drumstick in the box or a broken head. That's the fan of me coming out. But still cool to do the project. A little disappointing in the end. As a fan, you're going to be disappointed. I mean, I didn't get a thing. Not a thing. Everybody asked me. Not a thing. Barely a thank you. So still grateful to do it. Most people would die to have the opportunity to do something like that. Drummers would anyway. when I built these replica kits, and we're going to do a drum room tour after this video eventually. When I built these in 2017, I mainly built them because I had missed this retail Tama Art Star 3 times, and I got pissed off. The 3rd time I had to buy a truck, and I had the money, I had to put it on the truck, I couldn't buy the kit, so I said, fuck it, I'm building these replicas. And when I was building those replicas, all I wanted to do was have a cool drum set and put my headphones on and play along to Metallica. Never thought I'd be here talking to you, talking to anybody, let alone shipping my snare to Metallica. It's now part of history in the 40th anniversary video. All the great podcasts I did with Bart, that was really the highlight of my life. That was just getting that information out there. That was so cool. Doing the podcast with my friends over there, That Sound podcast in Ireland, fucking great experience. So that part was worth it. I got to thank Billy Harrington for hooking me and Bart up, getting us together. He said, Bart's looking for somebody to do the Lars episodes. And Billy's like, I got the guy I know who can do it. And if he didn't say that, none of this would have happened. So thank you, Billy. Thank you, Bart, Luke, and Gavin out there, and Shane, and pretty much all you people that follow me and just watch my shit and talk to me, and we talk back and forth, and it's that's what makes it fun. So after the snare came back, I had said to my girlfriend, as a fan, I'm a little disappointed. Nothing really happened, no feedback, but I said I kind of wish that I never got involved, and just, this never happened to me, because what you don't know can't hurt you, and you wouldn't have felt any different. It was just business as usual. But now, when I think about it, and I see all the people that got enjoyment out of that video, and got to see that video pretty much historically correct, aside from some of the tom mounts, got to see it historically correct, most everything, because I sent the snare. So I'm glad I sent the snare, because to me, how fucking lame would it have been if they stuck a diamond plate Lars Ulrich snare behind the Art Star kit? I mean, that in itself is a great snare, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't belong behind that kit. There's one snare that went around the world with him on one of the biggest tours they ever did, the Wherever I May Roam tour. That's the snare that went along. That's the snare that belongs with the kit. So, surreal experience. Very grateful to do it. Didn't end how I thought it would. Didn't end how a lot of people thought it would. And for everybody that asked what happened, that's what happened. What did they do for you? They really didn't do anything for me. Everybody asked, to be honest, but that's where we stand now. Maybe in the future something happens. I doubt it, but you never know. But anyway, great experience. Great to do it. Great to see my snare behind one of the originals. And really, that's all I have to say. So thank you for sticking with me through this obnoxiously long video to the conclusion. And basically, to answer the question, I sent my snare to Metallica and to Lars, and this is what happened. So that's the story. Thanks, everybody, for sticking with it. As always, feel free to contact me, any questions, concerns, and I will see you again. Thank you.